But I'm gonna go ahead and just do a part two, and because I'm actually glad it broke off into two parts because I'm now going to get into what's going on today, right? Because I told you what went on in my day and how the radio and the CDs and all that came out, and everybody was a blood or a crip, et cetera, and how we thought that was cool. And so, even though we were sheltered kids in the suburbs, we took that stuff in like that's what a black man, is supposed to be. Well, guess what? It's a lot worse now. Because at least in our era, first of all, in order to consume a lot of this stuff, you needed to have cable because you can't watch MTV or BET without cable, number one. And you needed some money because in order to hear the music, you had to buy the CD. And at that time, artists would come out with, at most, one album a year. So about 15 songs a year from each artist. And at that time, there was a lot less artists that were putting out CDs because you had to be a certain caliber of an artist in order to get a deal. And you had to be even higher caliber of an artist in order for them to put your album out. So there was a lot less content and it was a lot harder to get the content. However, now we live in a time where there's so much technology and anybody can put out anything at any time. And so pretty much every single day, there's a new person putting out music, glorifying and promoting anything. It could be anything. Because you got, once again, when I was coming up, it was radio, it was MTV, BET, and it was the CD. That was it. You can control MTV, BET by not buying cable or by blocking the channel. You can block channels. You can control the access to the CD to an extent by not giving the kid money. Not fully, you can't fully block it, but to an extent you can block it, right? However, now you got Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Music, Spotify. Not only that, but there's an unlimited amount of artists. And all of these artists, it's a new song and a new video every single day. See, when I was coming up, the parents had to worry about, once again, 106 in Park, MTV, and they had to worry about, let's just say, 6 or 7 artists putting out an album once a year. But now you got to worry about 7 or 8 different apps and new content dropping every single day. And once again, young people in general are very impressionable. So what happens when you have a bunch of young black males? Make sure to hit the like button. What happens when you have a bunch of impressionable young black males and every single day there's a new song talking about ride on this, slide on that, shoot this, smoke this, snort this, sleep with this, pop this, every single day. And there's a visual for it. Once again, when I was coming up, There was 106 in Park. We watched the same 10 to 20 videos every day for a few months. Now, there's a brand new video every single day. There's new songs every day. Every day. And once again, young people are impressionable. So what happens when you have a young person that thinks these artists and these lyrics are cool? What happens then? Because once again, when I was in high school, we thought Dipset was cool. We thought Cash Money was cool. We thought 50 Cent was cool. We thought all these quote unquote gangbangers and gangsters and shooters and killers and drug dealers, we thought these people were cool. And we listened to their songs over and over and over again. And we went out of our way to emulate them. So what happens now in 2025 when once again there's a brand new video every day? There's a new song every day. And guess what? All the songs, pop this pill, drink this alcohol, sleep with this woman, shoot this person. This person already got shot and killed. Make fun of them. Get high and drunk out of your mind and go shoot somebody else. And that's in song after song after song, video after video after video. And these are young people who are not smart enough at this point in time to understand, once again, A, a lot of these people are lying. They're not even doing what they're talking about. B, this stuff is not cool at all. And C, if these people are actually doing it, it's only a matter of time before they ruin their lives or lose their lives. These young people are not wise enough to realize that until well after the fact. Because once again, I'm telling you, we grew up in the suburbs. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the suburbs, guys were talking about their Bloods, their Crips, their Latin Kings. Why? They're listening to Dipset, and they're listening to Cash Money, and they're listening to 50 Cent, and they're listening to Young, just name whoever you want to think of. And we really thought that these dudes, first of all, we thought that these dudes were doing things they were saying in the music. Be real with you. 15, 16 years old in high school, we thought Lil Wayne was real. Seriously. All that stuff Lil Wayne was talking about in the songs, we thought Lil Wayne was really doing that. Not only that, we thought that what Lil Wayne was claiming to do was cool in some way. We thought what Dipset was talking about was cool in some way. Think about that. Think about some of the stuff that they said. You want to be down with the Dipset? Get your lips wet. I wear pink because I'm a high-ranking blood, and I'm selling this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing. We really thought these people were doing these things, and we thought it was cool. We thought it was masculine. We thought it was manly. And there was two groups. There was two groups of us. There was one group which I was in, to where we weren't doing this stuff, but we admired it and we thought it was cool. Then there was the other group. They thought it was cool, and they said, you know what? I'm going to emulate that. I'm going to become that. I'm going to say that again. There were two groups of us in the suburbs. There was one group of us who thought, you know what? I'm not going to do this stuff personally, but I think it's cool. And I'm going to follow and listen to the music of those who think it's cool. Then there was the other group who not only did they think it was cool, they said, you know what? I want to be like that. I want to live like that. Just think about how many lives were ruined because we wanted to be like Cash Money. We wanted to be like Dipset. We wanted to be like the Clips. We want to be like this group. We want to be like that group. And we think that they're really doing the stuff they talk about in these songs. And once again, apply that to today. Because when we were coming up, there was the radio. There was MTV and BET. And then there was the artists who put out, at most, one album a year. And in terms of who was putting out albums on a large scale, it was like, what, at most 8 people? Whereas now with these young kids, there's a new song, a new video, a new post every single day. Think about how many kids have jumped into this. I got an op. I'm sliding on the ops. I'm smoking the ops. So forth and so on. Think about how many young people jumped on that trend because they heard it and they thought it was cool. Think about that. And so, parents, what I want you to do, I want you to become fully aware of what your young people are listening to. Here's the easiest way to do it that's not going to raise alarm bells. The next time your kids are listening to something or they got their headphones on, I want you to do this. Spark up a friendly conversation with them. And in this friendly conversation, start talking about music. And tell them how in your day 50 Cent was so hot, and Lil Wayne and Cash Money and Dipset and so forth and so on. And when they say, oh, that's old, that's played out, that's corny, I want you to ask them a simple question. Okay, well, since you know so much more music than me, why don't you tell me what's real music? You tell me who's the hottest rappers of today. Who are the kids listening to today? And when they start running through the list of those artists, make a mental note. After you make that mental note, get on Apple Music, get on YouTube, and listen to the artists that your children are listening to. I'm going to say that again. Listen to the artists that your children are listening to. Listen to the words and the lyrics in the song. I'm just going to tell you straight up, 9 times out of 10, what's going to be in the music? A whole bunch of casual, reckless sex, weed smoking, drinking, pill popping, shooting and killing. That's what you're going to hear. I promise you. You're going to hear shoot this, kill this, smoke this, pop this, have sex with this. Over and over and over again. I'll give you some names to look out for. If your kid says, oh, one of my favorite rappers is Skrilla, oh, get in your prayer closet. I'm not even joking. If your kid says, hey, one of my favorite artists is Skrilla, man, that young man, that young man has some issues going on. Y'all gotta be careful, man. Y'all gotta, I'm telling you, with these kids about who they're listening to and who they think are cool. Because a lot of these artists that these kids are listening to, they talking about how they on demon time and they demon possessed and they gonna go on. It's all this fantasy about murder and killing and all kinds of crazy evil things on these songs. I'm telling you, fantasies about taking somebody else's life and beating somebody and hurting somebody and deleting somebody and popping this and drinking that over and over and over again on a loop. When your kids walk in that room with them headphones on, say, hey, let me hear that real quick. I want to know what's popping. Don't do it in a negative way. Actually show a genuine interest and say, hey, I want to see what the kids are listening to these days. I want to see what's cool these days. I want to see what the real hip hop is these days. And put the headphones on, put the earbuds in, and listen to the words that your kids are listening to constantly on a loop over and over and over again all day long. Yeah, serial killers running around. I promise you, especially listen, I'm not even joking. If your kid is listening to Skrilla, to Lil Durk,